Now, there's closing costs even for real estate investors. What I recommend is still don't pay the money up front. Roll it into the loan. Roll the fee into the loan. But Don, you just showed us if we roll the fee into the loan, we're going to pay 150% interest. Not really. What if you roll the fee into the loan and you pay the fee off in the first month? You knock off 18 payments off of there that you never have to make. Kenyatta, can you tell your clients that? Oh my God.
I do.
Oh my goodness. Listen, this gets better and better and better. If you're going to take cash out so that you can invest into your property, some things you just don't want to do. Don't get less than a 30-year loan. Get a 30-year loan or better. Okay. Not only that, but when you get your closing costs, roll it into the loan and pay it off the first month.
Don, I know someone out there.
Yes.
Someone is thinking, okay, but what about a 15-year mortgage? Even though you just went over all these examples, they probably are thinking, but a 15-year mortgage, that's good enough for me. What would you say to that?
I'm just talking to my wife, met somebody in the store the other day, and they know that I do this. Okay. They know that I'm an interest cancellation expert. So she tells them, you need to talk to my husband, because when they moved to Huntsville, they insisted on a 15-year mortgage. All right. Let me show you what's going on here. We're going to do 300,000. Okay. And the interest rates right now are hovering around 6%. So we'll leave it there. Okay. 300,000. Okay. Here's the payment. 1798.65. All right. And now we're going to do the same mortgage. We're going to do the same mortgage for 180 months. I need you all to see this. I need you all to see this. On a 15-year mortgage, here is the payment. $2,531.57. Okay. Kenyatta, is this $2,531.57? Is this money used to pay down the loan? All right. Is this their payment?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. And then the bank is going to use that payment, and some is going to go to interest and some is going to go to principal, correct?
More to interest, but yes, correct.
All right. So here's what we're talking about, folks. Let me show you. Here's the difference. Here is the 6% mortgage at 360 payments is $1,798. So Kenyatta, do I have to have a 15-year mortgage to make the payment of $2,531.57?
No, you do not.
You mean I could make the same payment if I have a 30-year mortgage?
You could.
All I need to know is what the 15-year payment is. You don't need to have permission. You don't need permission to make the 15-year payment. You don't have to have a 15-year mortgage to make the 15-year payment.
What if they're scared about prepayment penalties? What if they're scared that the banker is going to say, no, I don't want to hear it anymore?
Can't happen. It's part of your contract. It's in the contract. It's in the contract. Your contract says you have the right to prepay principal. You have that right. Generally, in the United States, you only get prepayment penalties on commercial loans. And I didn't even know how to beat those. Okay. Pay the prepayment penalty because the penalty is cheaper than the interest that you would pay. So listen, I showed one client how to save $100,000 in Canada because they have prepayment penalties all the time. You know what the prepayment penalty was on that $100,000 savings?
What was it?
$1,200. The penalty was $1,200 in order for them to save $100,000 in interest. We did it on the bank's calculator. We put the stuff into the bank's calculator to help them to calculate what the prepayment penalty was. Their problem was before, there was no one to help them to calculate what their interest savings would be. Therefore, they were afraid of the $1,200 because that's all they could see. But when we showed them they could save $100,000, but cost them $1,200, they said, oh man, I'd take that trade any day. Okay, so now folks, back to what you're seeing on the screen. We've got 2531.57 right there. Now, Here's what happens when you get a 15-year mortgage. What if things get a little tight? Because you signed a 15-year mortgage, you are stuck with this payment. Correct, Kenyatta?
Correct.
But if I have the other mortgage where my regular payment is $1798.65, but I even got used to paying $2531.57, if things get tight, if I have a 30-year mortgage, can I drop back to my minimum payment of $1,798.65? Can I do that?
Yes, you can.
Then why would I ever get a 15-year mortgage? Why would I ever get it? It doesn't pay. Why would I ever get it? I
hope you guys are getting this. I hope you guys are getting this because this is so timely. This is going to help us what's happening in the market today.
So folks, we're just about done here. Here's what we're doing. If you want to know more about what we're doing, how this all comes together, then get a savings and earnings report. How do you get a savings and earnings report? Go to ice10k.com.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.